Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The Quran contains many stories of prophets, but the story of Musa a.s. is the most frequently mentioned. Allah narrates his journey of struggle, faith, patience, and leadership in different surahs. This repetition is not without purpose, it is a timeless reminder of how Allah supports his chosen servants, even in the darkest of times. The story of Musa a.s. begins in the land of Egypt, where the mighty Pharaoh ruled with arrogance and oppression. He enslaved Bani Israel, tortured them, and even ordered the killing of their newborn sons. Yet in that very atmosphere of cruelty, Allah prepared his chosen prophet. The birth of Musa a.s. Pharaoh, fearing that a child from Bani Israel would rise against him, ordered that every newborn male should be killed while the females were spared. This was a horrific time for mothers, but Allah's plan was already in motion. When Musa a.s. was born, his mother's heart was filled with fear. But Allah inspired her, greater than, suckle him, but when you fear for him, cast him into the river and do not fear nor grieve. Indeed, we will return him to you and make him one of the messengers. Surah Al-Qasas 28:7. With trembling hands yet firm faith, the mother of Musa placed her baby in a wooden basket and let it flow in the Nile. Imagine the fear of a mother watching her infant drift away, yet trusting Allah's promise. Raised in Pharaoh's palace, the basket floated until it reached the palace of Pharaoh. His wife, Asiya a righteous woman hidden in the house of tyranny, saw the baby and her heart softened. She pleaded with Pharaoh, greater than, he will be a comfort of the eye for me and for you. Do not kill him, perhaps he may benefit us, or we may adopt him as a son. Surah Al-Qasas 28:9. Thus, by Allah's decree, the very child Pharaoh sought to kill was raised under his roof. This is one of the greatest signs of Allah's plan. The enemy who wanted Musa's death ended up providing him shelter, food, and education. But Allah arranged something more miraculous. Baby Musa refused to drink milk from any wet nurse. His sister, who was secretly following the basket, suggested, greater than, shall I direct you to a household who will take care of him for you and be sincere to him? Surah Al-Qasas 28:12. And in this way, Musa's mother was reunited with her child and was paid to nurse him, just as Allah promised. The young Musa a.s. Musa grew into a strong and wise young man. The Quran says, greater than, and when he reached his full strength and maturity, we gave him judgment and knowledge. Surah Al-Qasas 28:14. Though he lived in Pharaoh's palace, Musa never forgot his roots. He felt the pain of his oppressed people, the Bani Israel, who were suffering under slavery. His heart longed for justice. The incident in the city. One day, Musa entered the city at a time when people were unaware. He found two men fighting, one from Bani Israel and the other from Pharaoh's people. The man from Bani Israel called Musa for help. Musa intervened, striking the Egyptian, but unintentionally killed him. Overwhelmed with guilt, Musa prayed, greater than, my Lord, indeed I have wronged myself, so forgive me. And he forgave him. Indeed, he is the forgiving, the merciful. Surah Al-Qasas 28:16. This incident spread quickly. The next day, the same man from Bani Israel again called Musa for help. Musa rebuked him, but before he could act, an advisor of Pharaoh came running, warning him. Greater than, O Musa, indeed the chiefs are plotting to kill you, so leave immediately. Indeed, I am to you a sincere advisor. Surah Al-Qasas 28:20. Musa fled Egypt, afraid yet hopeful in Allah's plan. He left behind the luxuries of the palace and entered the desert with nothing but his faith. Journey to Madian. After days of travel, hungry and tired, Musa reached the land of Madian. There he saw two women struggling to water their flock while men pushed them aside. Musa, with his strong sense of justice, helped them by watering their animals. The women returned home earlier than usual, surprising their father, Prophet Shu'aib a.s. They told him about the kind stranger, and he invited Musa. After hearing Musa's story, Shu'aib reassured him, greater than, fear not. You have escaped from the wrongdoing people. Surah Al-Qasas 25. Musa married one of Shuaib's daughters and worked for him for several years. This phase of Musa's life was a period of training. He learned patience, responsibility, and family life. After years of living in Madian, serving Prophet Shuaib a.s. and raising a family, Musa a.s. had matured into a man of wisdom, patience, and responsibility. But Allah had prepared him for something far greater: to confront Pharaoh, the most powerful tyrant of his time, and to lead Bani Israel out of slavery. One night, while traveling with his family, Musa lost his way in the desert. It was cold and dark. Suddenly, he saw a fire in the distance. Hoping to bring back warmth and guidance, he told his family to wait while he approached the fire. But what awaited him there was no ordinary flame, it was the greatest turning point of his life. The sacred encounter at Mount Sinai. As Musa a.s. came near the fire, he heard a voice calling him. Greater than, O Musa, indeed I am Allah, Lord of the worlds. So remove your sandals, for you are in the sacred valley of Tua. And I have chosen you, so listen to what is revealed. Surah Taha 20:11-13. In that moment, Musa realized his true purpose. Allah appointed him as his messenger to Pharaoh, the most arrogant and unjust ruler, and to call him towards the worship of the one true God. Musa, feeling the enormity of this mission, prayed for strength. Greater than, my Lord, expand for me my chest, and ease for me my task, and untie the knot from my tongue, that they may understand my speech. And appoint for me a helper from my family, Harun, my brother. Surah Taha 20:25-30. Allah accepted his prayer and appointed his brother Harun a.s. as his helper. The miracles of Musa a.s. To strengthen Musa's confidence and provide proof of his prophethood, Allah gave him miracles. 1. The staff. Allah commanded Musa to throw down his staff, and it turned into a living serpent. When he picked it up, it became a staff again. 2. The radiant hand. Allah instructed Musa to place his hand under his arm, and when he drew it out, it shone brightly without harm. These miracles would serve as signs for Pharaoh and his people, proof that Musa was indeed sent by Allah. The confrontation with Pharaoh. Musa a.s. and Harun a.s. courageously entered Pharaoh's court. They delivered the message with dignity. Greater than, we are the messengers of the Lord of the worlds, sent to Pharaoh, so send with us the children of Israel and do not torment them. Surah Taha 20:47. But Pharaoh, arrogant and proud, mocked them. Greater than, did we not raise you among us as a child, and you remained among us for years of your life? And you did your deed which you did, and you are of the ungrateful. Surah Al-Shu'ara 26:18-19. He tried to shame Musa for his past mistake of killing the Egyptian, but Musa replied firmly. Greater than, I did it then, while I was of the unaware. So I fled from you when I feared you, but my Lord granted me judgment and made me one of the messengers. Surah Al-Shu'ara 26:20-21. The challenge of the magicians. Pharaoh accused Musa of being a magician and challenged him to a public contest. The magicians of Egypt, known for their illusions, were gathered. Before thousands of people, they threw down their ropes and staffs, which appeared like moving snakes. But Musa a.s. trusting Allah, threw down his staff, and it swallowed all their illusions. The truth became clear, and the magicians immediately realized that Musa's power was divine, not sorcery. They fell in prostration, declaring, Greater than, we believe in the Lord of Musa and Harun. Surah Taha 20:70. Pharaoh was furious. He threatened to crucify them, but the magicians stood firm in faith, becoming among the earliest martyrs for Allah's cause. Pharaoh's rebellion and Allah's signs. Despite witnessing clear miracles, Pharaoh and his chiefs remained arrogant. They accused Musa of trying to take power and refused to release Bani Israel. So Allah sent a series of punishments upon Egypt. 1. Floods, destroying crops and homes. 2. Locusts, devouring everything in their path. 3. Lice, spreading discomfort and disease. 4. Frogs, filling homes and markets. 5. Blood, turning the Nile and water sources into blood. Each time, Pharaoh begged Musa to pray for relief, promising to free Bani Israel. But once the calamity was lifted, he broke his promise. The Exodus. Bani Israel's escape. Finally, Allah commanded Musa to lead Bani Israel out of Egypt by night. They set out quietly, thousands of people moving under the cover of darkness. By morning, Pharaoh learned of their escape and pursued them with his army. Bani Israel soon found themselves trapped, the vast Red Sea in front of them and Pharaoh's army behind. Panic spread among them. Greater than, indeed, we are to be overtaken. Surah Al-Shu'ara 26:61. But Musa, full of faith, declared, greater than, no, indeed, with me is my Lord, he will guide me. Surah Al-Shu'ara 26:62. Allah then commanded Musa to strike the sea with his staff. Instantly, the waters parted, creating pathways of dry land. Bani Israel crossed safely, while Pharaoh and his army followed recklessly. As the last of Bani Israel reached the shore, the sea closed in, drowning Pharaoh and his forces. In his final moments, Pharaoh declared belief, but it was too late. Allah said, greater than, now, and you disobeyed before and were of the corruptors. So today we will preserve your body, that you may be assigned to those who come after you. Surah Yunus 10:91-92. Pharaoh's body was preserved as a warning for all future generations. After Pharaoh's destruction, Bani Israel were finally free. They had lived as slaves for centuries, oppressed and humiliated, but now Allah had granted them independence. However, freedom also came with responsibility, to remain steadfast in faith, to obey Allah's commands, and to honor the guidance brought by Musa a.s. But as history teaches us, the hearts of people are often weak. Despite witnessing countless miracles, many among Bani Israel fell into disobedience, testing the patience of Musa again and again. The revelation at Mount Sinai. Once Bani Israel crossed safely into the desert, Musa a.s. led them toward Mount Sinai, where Allah promised to reveal his laws. Musa left his people under the care of Harun a.s. and climbed the mountain for 40 nights of worship and seclusion. There, Allah spoke to him directly and gave him the tablets alwa containing the Torah, laws of justice, morality, and worship. Greater than, and we wrote for him on the tablets something, of all things, instruction and explanation for all things, saying, take them with determination and order your people to take the best of it. I will show you the home of the defiantly disobedient. Surah Al-Araf 7:145. This was a gift and guidance for Bani Israel. Yet, while Musa was away, something tragic happened. The worship of the golden calf. In Musa's absence, a man named Samiri misled the people. He fashioned a golden calf and claimed it was their god. Many among Bani Israel, forgetting the miracles of Allah, began to worship it. When Musa returned and saw this, he was heartbroken and angry. He rebuked his people and confronted Harun, who explained that he had tried to stop them but was overpowered. Musa then turned to Allah in repentance for his people. This event revealed the weakness of faith and the dangers of turning away from Allah, even after great miracles. The struggles in the desert. For years, Bani Israel wandered in the desert, facing hunger, thirst, and trials. But Allah provided for them manna and quails as food, water from a rock when Musa struck it with his staff. Yet, despite Allah's blessings, they complained repeatedly, asking for worldly luxuries instead of gratitude. Their constant disobedience led Allah to decree that they would wander for 40 years in the wilderness before entering the promised land. Greater than, indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:11. The command to enter the Holy Land. Allah commanded Bani Israel to enter the sacred land Palestine, and fight against the tyrants who occupied it. But they refused out of fear, saying, greater than, O Musa, indeed within it is a people of tyrannical strength, and indeed we will never enter it until they leave it. So if they leave it, then we will enter. Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:22. Only 2 faithful men encouraged them to trust Allah and obey. But the majority resisted, and so Allah punished them with 40 years of wandering in the desert. During this period, Musa and Harun continued to guide them, teaching patience, obedience, and reliance on Allah. The passing of Musa a.s. After decades of struggle, Prophet Musa a.s. neared the end of his mission. Though he led his people out of slavery and toward freedom, Bani Israel's full obedience remained a constant challenge. According to Islamic tradition, Musa passed away in the wilderness, close to the promised land but not entering it himself. His legacy, however, remained eternal. His life was a testimony to the struggle against tyranny, the patience of leadership, and the unwavering faith in Allah. The legacy of Musa a.s. in the Qur'an. The Quran frequently recalls the story of Musa because it is full of lessons for every generation. He faced a tyrant Pharaoh representing arrogance and worldly power. A rebellious people, Bani Israel, teaching the challenges of guiding a community. Personal trials, exile, fear, and hardship, yet never losing faith. His story is not just history, it is guidance for us today. Final lessons for us. 1. Faith is greater than fear. Just as Musa stood before Pharaoh with trust in Allah, we must stand firm against injustice in our lives. 2. Gratitude is essential. Complaining and ingratitude, like Bani Israel, only delay blessings. 3. Patience in leadership. Musa's patience shows that guiding others requires mercy, persistence, and reliance on Allah. 4. True power belongs to Allah. Pharaoh's downfall is a reminder that no kingdom lasts forever, only Allah's will prevails. 5. Obedience leads to success. The refusal of Bani Israel to enter the Holy Land teaches us that disobedience brings delay and hardship, while faith brings victory. The final reminder. The journey of Musa a.s. is more than a story, it is a mirror for our own lives. Just as Musa faced trials with faith, we too must trust Allah in every challenge. Just as Pharaoh's arrogance led to his destruction, we must guard ourselves against pride. And just as Bani Israel struggled with obedience, we must strive to submit fully to Allah's commands. Greater than, indeed, in their stories there is a lesson for those of understanding. Never was the Quran a narration invented, but a confirmation of what was before. It is a detailed explanation of all things and guidance and mercy for a people who believe. Surah Yusuf 12:111.